I mean, the big changes geopolitically happen quite slowly, so I don't know. You can hedge them. A lot of my stress, I mean, I think it's just genetics or whatever environment, but I grew up in a pretty hectic household. But it's funny that anxiety can live with you forever, which is kind of nuts. Even though the thing that causes you the anxiety is long gone. And some people are just neurotic too. I mean, I'm not neurotic, but you can have anxiety from experiences more easily than others. So anytime you see me like behaving weirdly or something like that, with fidgeting or cutting my hair or something, you know, it's really a clinical condition. I don't know how to get out that nervousness. Yeah, it's like panic disorder. I don't actually have any conscious anxiety. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh man, what if this happens or what if that happens? That's not the issue. It's a literal, like, yeah, heart racing. You know what works is actually cold water, because I guess you reset like the vagus nerve. So I take antidepressant, and that's worked really well, SNRI, but I still have a little residual amount. Otherwise, I'd be having full-blown panic attacks. I'd be in the corner shivering. Yeah, again, it's not a conscious anxiety. It's a physical panic disorder. Yeah, yesterday was a one-of-a-kind situation with SPRB. I don't think I'll see something like that again in a while. I honestly don't want to. Apparently, there's this kind of BS thing you could do that like is a stretching anxiety for stretching. It's really bizarre, but some people have swear by it. It's like tension release something or other. Connor, I used my software called GILD. I used something called most. This is very similar. It's almost a carbon copy of the most function on Bloomberg. So you just type most and hit enter, and you see the most active gainers, losers value. You can sort it by market cap. You can change it by sector. We actually want to improve this a little bit so you can look at most by hour, hourly or minute, hour, things like that. I use this tool I made. I really believe in it, to be honest. But you also have to recognize that edge in markets quantitatively is like 50.1%, so keep that in mind. So I have this thing, PRT, I paste my tickers, I should make this a little more automatic, and I just do this real-time search. It's amazing this server's been up for a month or 2 months, and I built it and it's still working. That's shocking. All right, so it's telling me CoreWeave is a short, microchip and CoreWeave are shorts. So I'm gonna go put that trade in, microchip, and I got a little ledger here I'm gonna use. Gotta go look up where I got out of Newmont actually. Sell a microchip, do a small amount, just 100 shares, 2584. All right, I can copy and paste this. It said CoreWeave as well, so I'll do that. CoreWeave is a bigger stock price, I think, so we do less share amount, half as much shares, so 50, 129.77. Long MOH, that's a healthcare company, Molina, so that's even bigger stock price. Apply that. 203.945. So what is this one on 40? Okay. And then yeah, you can see PRT. So then I just keep running it basically, and it keeps giving me these sort of signal, which hopefully will be profitable. And then I just watch the prices. I basically just get out within 10 minutes. It's basically the sort of what it's optimized for. Yeah, you can set a bunch of parameters. All those fields are there for a reason. Right, RGC is a short. The problem with RGC is that it's this crazy stock, Regencel. Can I short Regencel, or is this borrow too crazy? I'd love to short Regencel. But it's telling me short Mettler-Toledo. At least I can trade that one. Mettler-Toledo's got a huge stock price, but it doesn't really make a difference. Futu wants me to go long this thing. Some kind of, okay, it's an online brokerage. You guys heard of Futu? F-U-T-U? I guess I'll buy some. Yeah, so PAT and PRT are the same tool, just in different views. So this is PAT. The way PAT works is it looks at the last 30 minutes of minute tuple. So this is minute candles of close price. And it looks for the closest match or vector match, Euclidean distance vector. As you can see, like they're like these light, I mean, I think you can see it right now, but just in case you can't, there's these like little overlapping lines. The white line is Amgen, but in all of the stock market's history, it's looking for shapes that were almost identical. And you can see there's no shape that's identical, but many that are very close. And it finds those closest shapes. And then it tells you that the closest shape was this stock, AEM, in 2023, ACWI in 2015. All these different times the market had the same exact, Apple in 2010. Then it shows you what actually happened in the future, if the time was before now. But it shows, if for obviously the other stocks that already happened in the past, it can show you what the roll forward was. And over here, you get those statistics, and you can change the amount of neighbors. So for example, so this 𝐀𝐦𝐽𝐵𝑠 is 100 and you want 50 nearest neighbors. You can run it that way, maybe 100 here. So neighbors used here is 200. Here's the mean return, the median return, standard deviation, probability that it'll be up in the next 30 minutes. And so it's like TA on steroids, which is what's statistical arbitrage. So it basically gives you this ability to actually say, well, this chart pattern on average, the mean return is 0. There's no expectation for a return. But again, you can sort of select your statistic. You say, well, with 2,000 nearest neighbors, remember the baseline here is like 6 billion tuples. I think in general, you're not going to have much alpha. But what's cool about this is you can take this, okay, and automate it with PRT. Or with PRT, you can actually get a sort of, you can look at 1,000 stocks and looking at 711 at once. So just do PRT or PAT on Godel. Okay, really likes caterpillars along here. It's like very high. This sort of tells you different, things here. RGC is also, this is pretty funny. I'm gonna remove RGC from my list. PRT is pattern real time, I named it. I wrote all this code myself too. Yeah, Leonard, I think that, you have to decide, like all things in life. I mean, you get the tool, you have to decide what signals you think are predictive. Whether it's really short-term signals. For example, I mean, if 44 at a 44 ticks were the same on two stocks, what do you predict the 45th tick would be more likely to be the same or less likely to be the same? It certainly depends. And you can make multiple dimensions. I mean, you don't have to just do price. These are just large caps. These kind of things work best for large caps. It tells me to short Rocketlab, which I have no problem doing. Who are you using for data provider API? It's a company called Godel. DL Software, our company. Provides me an excellent API. Trim is just a outlier excluder. All right, let's see here. Caterpillar. Oh, of course we have more functions for fundamental analysis. Yeah. I'm programming economic data as we speak. Rocketlab. 485.75. We are in Caterpillar. Had to chase it up. How's our microchip doing? Bad. That's CoreWeave. Very good. That was lucky. All right, Molina. Sometimes the market is going down, you don't. It's funny, it kind of suggested like buy these stable stocks and short these growth stocks. It's kind of interesting. You run it yourself, Willie, you can run it. Okay, I'm going long. Cummings and Intel. Yeah, we're definitely gonna develop our own charts. There's news. I don't know about their news notifications. What does this guy say? It's gonna rip. What are you talking about? How am I supposed to read your mind? This guy says, what does the tool say about this stock? And I said, go run it yourself. And then he says, LOL, that's not the point. What? How do I know what the point is? You ask me a question. Just pull it up. You pull it up. I'm showing you the tool. You do it. Tell me it's gonna rip. You ask me what does the tool say? Then you tell me it's gonna rip. No, no. In fact, it's easier for long term. Yeah, that's why you have to interpret it. Stone. What do you mean with trading per month? Yeah, like monthly prices. Yeah, I don't think there is that much data on monthly prices. There haven't been that many months. Yeah, this is mostly manual right now. I mean, at some point I will start implementing algos. I just don't have time. This has actually worked for me pretty well. So I think I'm sure it's fine for small caps, but I just, small caps are their own weird animal. Okay, 𝗕𝗤𝗘𝗢, I'm going to take a little bit larger position this time. Yeah, I'm going to extend this tool to Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin, you can also do like, if you restrict the tool to just self patterns, so like vectors that come exactly from Bitcoin, so the times that Bitcoin behaved this way specifically, what has been the result. I think that's actually pretty informative. Bitcoin has its own unique thing, but then you also might want to look at what's happening to SPY at the time for futures. Some more size than 𝗕𝗤𝗘𝗢. Out on CoreWeave, 128.82. So that's a booked gain. I missed my window there on microchip. No, I'm all in on just lowering my cholesterol and proven stuff like that. Longevity is too much of a meme in my opinion. Like, honestly, a lot of you guys just click the X button, man. Leave me alone. Yeah. This ain't for you, bro. I think they reverse merged a long time ago. So I wouldn't, whatever predecessor company it was, that's pretty common. In biotech, once the first biotech goes bankrupt, they kind of dilute and give all the shares to the next one. That's typically at least the pattern. I'm not, Tesla's one of these companies where it's just really hard to bet against Elon. The guy's pretty good. I know a lot of people on Wall Street don't like him, but you try starting a company. It's not easy. Elvis V, this is such a stupid question. What would your price target be in case of a buyout? What does that even mean? Man, you got to go to a different stream. This isn't the stream for you, dude. Meet Kevin. That's your favorite streamer now. Why is that a stupid question? Well, my price target, what would be your price target for QURE in case of a buyout? Here, let's understand this from a linguistics perspective first. What would be your price target for QURE in case of a buyout conservatively? That is our question, right? QURE is not a cure for Huntington's. To be clear, it's a treatment. It's a potential treatment without exactly definitive controlled data, so it's speculative treatment. If a company were to be bought out, it doesn't make sense. What would your price target be? I guess what you're trying to ask is, do you think there's a drug company out there willing to pay a premium right now for uniQure stock price? I don't think that's the right way to think about it. People ask me this all the time and it doesn't make any sense. Drug companies don't just buy other companies for fun. They're doing it to get a deal, and there are many, many things that go into that. And very often, you may not get a deal. So if you're running uniQure, you don't assume somebody's going to come buy your company, nor do you look for somebody to do that. It'd be very foolish. If somebody does approach your company and says, "Hi, I'm from Takeda. I'm really interested in your data on Huntington's." Well, now if you're uniQure, you have to sit there and say, what does this person want? Are they wasting my time? They may be opportunistic, they may not be. Okay. Pfizer calls you as well. Now you might say, I got to hire an investment banker. I don't have the time to talk to all these people. I just do a data room and invite all these people to the data room. Merck wouldn't be interested. J&J wouldn't be interested. Roche kind of has a couple irons in the fire here, but Roche could be interested, for example. Bristol Myers, I don't think would be interested. Go down pharma here. Novo Nordisk, AbbVie, no. AstraZeneca, could be interested. Okay, Novartis, who knows? Maybe even Vertex, Sanofi. So you got maybe 7 realistic buyers for uniQure. 7 buyers for uniQure, and uniQure, Takeda approaches, uniQure says, all right, I'm going to hire Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs banker talks to all of them. Says, you want to be in the data room? 5 of them say yes. Let's just pick 5 at random. TransV is as it came out to be spelled, but those are the initials for the trans, actually. The 5 companies that were contacted, and they said, yes, I'll go to the data room. And, all right, you know what, Elvis? I'm done with you.
You want to insult me? Better things I do with my time to teach you Wall Street 101. Yeah, we had Transaffirming Care, and you ruined it. But in all seriousness, if you want to learn about investment banking, that book, Barbarians at the Gate. Oh, that's a good book. I should buy that for my library here at Barbarians at the Gate. It's a very famous book. They even had a movie. Make sure you cop that if you haven't read it already. I'm gonna buy it used, man. First of all, I'm not even paying. This is the company. Y'all are paying. Free shipping, yo! Easy win. The Giving Tree. John Grisham. Yeah, I don't know if this is good for a corporate library. 48 Laws of Power. Britney Spears. This is not exactly what I was looking for, but let me... Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky. Might actually... It's a classic, bro. It's a classic. Real Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates, Big... Oh, this fucking RFK? What? There's a whole DVD right there. So it's just on GP, I'm adding that to the cart. I think some weird-looking geek like you would have a better portfolio than you do. Is this your first time? What? English? Hey, you're talking to... Who are you talking to? Me? Portfolio? Where do you see my portfolio? Pull out your scissors and cut your hair, geek. Was this the guy we just banned? Probably, right? Hey man, look, it's just a feeling. It'll go away. You'll move on from this. You'll rise and do great things, don't worry. Sorry I hurt your feelings, man. No, seriously, you know, feeling will go away in a few hours. Just think about something else, you'll be fine. What % of my previous girlfriends have been Jewish? Let me think. Probably like 25%, 30%, that ballpark. Wow, what's the matter? I've never read the Kabbalah, but I've heard about it. They call me Bernie Sanders. I'm from the capitalist city of New York City, and I hate capitalism. Go figure. Can't help it. I want to raise taxes on everyone because I hate myself. Bernie Sanders, folks, I'm asking you once again to donate to my campaign. Oh, this is the best book. If you haven't read this one, buy it right now. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It's hard to do, you know, Godfrey's good at it. It's hard to do impersonation to impersonation. It's kind of a business book in some ways. It's a little cringe just because I was a fan of that guy's research so long ago. It's like when your favorite band blows up, you're like, man, everybody knows about him now. Do you hear about this great new band, Coheed and Cambria, bro? I'm not buying these for me. I'm buying these for my colleagues. Absolutely nobody from my office will ever read these. Yeah, I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan. I could play all their songs and guitar and stuff. Tversky did all the heavy lifting, absolutely. Tversky did it. It wasn't Kahneman. Who said it was Kahneman? Oh yeah, Mamdani is great. Let's go, Mamdani. Allahu Akbar. I can't wait. He seems like he's really diverse and gonna totally transform New York to more diverse. Allahu Akbar. A more diverse place. Charlotte's Web, also a children's classic. This is a famous business book. I don't think it's very good. Good to Great by Jim Collins. You guys ever read that? It's like kind of a classic. Just don't trade anymore. Learn, read, spend all your time reading. And next time you invest, do it when everything's down and it's gone to zero. And learn how to do quantitative finance. Don't use your instincts. Learn how to program systems that trade the market instead. Well, most people who have run up a ton of money are, they've very quickly, they usually did it by accident, and they very shortly will be returning their money to the market. And it's at least smart of you to resist that. Take what you got, preserve it. And then if you are going to extend it very slowly and carefully. A really good trader honestly doesn't need more than 1 or 2% of his portfolio, 20 or 30% of his portfolio at risk. You shouldn't be ever putting your whole stack in. Now again, I don't always practice what I preach. Yeah, I've made mistakes that I've profited from for sure. Yeah, we should definitely get a charting book. World Hunger, yes. Quantum will solve world hunger, I love that one. Oclo down, INQ down, okay, maybe.
Trying to support people that have been disadvantaged, that Wall Street has made no room for. people who would be excellent on Wall Street. For the equal opportunity, man. Somebody gave me a shot as a Eastern European. You gotta protect them from their cryptocurrency investments. I don't know. For black hedge fund managers, it's very low, man. It's very low. And then black associates, executives, etc. Top firms, I would guess 10%, 5%, if that. You know, it's a bit of DEI, and I'm okay with that, you know. Asians have done amazing on Wall Street and elsewhere. And, you know, there's so many problems in the black community. There's no obvious place to begin to even fix them. But, you know, I do think corporations can play a small part in that. As much as I hate the idea of DEI, it's like DEI on the down low. I don't like DEI when it's in your face and you're making a show of it and you're doing it to try to almost like virtue signal. But, you know, if you're doing it because you think it's the right thing to do and you want to give somebody a chance, I think that's a good thing. And it also doesn't mean giving anybody a handout. You know, never doing that. Opportunity, yes. Handout, no. No, standards have to be held to the same standards. I think it's just personal. You know, you got to look at somebody and say, okay, I'm going to give you a shot. That's it. Yeah, race is not going to really play a big role into it, but it makes you happy when you give somebody a shot that wouldn't necessarily get a shot and they do great.